Hello everybody, welcome back to... I keep saying channel Spellbinder. Technically this channel's name is Spell Plays, I just realized that. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of where I am recording 16 minutes after this episode should have uploaded. I had class today, and also a long drive. But we're here now, in a wedding hall with this girl. It's not that romantic. Let's talk about the nobility. Also, my power's back on. So, you know, that's hype. So you think nobles like Pierce and Von Sanctus should just be allowed to get away with murder? Are you still sore about that? I'm sure you realize it by now. I'm more than paid for what happened with Jason Wine. His name was Justin Way. And if you were truly paying for your crimes, you would be in prison right now. Von Sanctus made a mistake. But removing him from his position would only create more suffering. Our government is barely recovering from the death of William Frege. Ivan can't suffer the loss of another house leader this close to that. The way I see it, I think you nobles overstate your importance in our lives. We'd probably be fine without you. Humph. And I suppose you commoners are capable of coordinating macroeconomic initiatives. Oh, and I suppose you're also capable of engaging in diplomacy with the other nations. Ugh. Face it, as much as you loathe to admit it, ours is a symbiotic relationship. More like a parasitic relationship. So what? The common folk should just continue to suffer for the good of our nation? Lady Sybil, the people of the kingdom you claim to be protecting are suffering because of your inaction. My inaction? You place the blame on me, but what have you done? You were once a champion of your so-called justice, but you've stopped your work as a defense attorney. How many lives could you have saved in the month that you spent on vacation? It's not his responsibility to solve your mess. You have no idea how much he suffered trying to do the right thing. Celeste. Perhaps you're right. You shouldn't bear that kind of responsibility alone. But every commoner has the ability to learn and practice law as you do, Mr. Cuthbert. So why are you one of the few commoners that do so? From what I've heard, you're one of the few people who defend mages of the common folk. Every other attorney wouldn't even consider taking them as clients. Perhaps the problem lies in the common folk, then. They are fully capable of rising to defend the so-called innocent, yet they do nothing. Never mind. This was clearly a mistake. Let's go, Celeste. Yeah. Finally. Thank the scared lord. You okay? I guess I should have expected that. But I never expected someone with so much power to be so out of touch with reality. Come on, let's go somewhere else. We still have some time before the meeting. I mean, you say that, Tyrion. You weren't able to rebuke them at all. Yeah. They almost kind of made some valid points. I mean, bit off the mark, but still. Move to location. You find yourself in the Grand Cathedral's garden and stumble upon a strange statue. Wow, that's a little out of place. What even is it? Beatrice, Frege. Which one was Beatrice? If my memory is correct, it's a Pegasus. Eh? Hello, friends. As you inspect the contemporary piece of artwork, you're startled by a familiar voice. Okay, it was you. And it looks like she's not alone either. Along with Eris. Okay, that's who I thought it was. Mix up their names. She seems to be accompanied by both of her sisters. Beatrice, aren't you supposed to be dead? Sorry, I wasn't trying to say. No, it's perfectly understandable. You, of all people, know what was on my blood contract. But it appears the Lady of Discord isn't going to kill me just yet. Is Eris the Lady of Discord? Oh, do you really have to do that? What? Never mind. Right. It's a little awkward speaking to the Frege sisters after everything that's happened. Fair enough. but they don't seem hostile, and all things considered, you prefer their companies over Sybil's. Although, you're still not sure how you feel about speaking with a murderer, especially one that you indicted. I mean, she was spitting though, you know? Like, sure, she murdered someone, but like, girl boss, you know? But Beatrice clearly knows more about demons and their kind than you do. I wonder if she knows anything about the Heavensborn. Alright, let's talk about you. So, you seem to be doing well, all things considered. You mean how a demon now has ownership of my soul? Y- Yeah, that. How can you be so calm about this? I forget their voices. I must agree with Miriam. It's a little unnerving how nonchalantly you're treating this. I suppose it's the knowledge that everything is out of my hands now. There's something peaceful about it. And that's certainly a positive way to look at it. Shut up, you! You know, my office still stands. I can try to help you. At the risk of your own life? I... Which part of the contract would you dispute anyways? You recall... Sorry, I keep changing her voice literally every line. You'll live. Recall reading her blood contract in the courtroom that day. There was very little room for interpretation. It was airtight. The demon I signed that contract with was very meticulous about the details. I've spent the last 5 years looking for any possible loopholes, but I didn't find anything substantial I could use. I don't even think disputing it is possible. Hmm. I'm sorry. Don't be. You defeated me. I won't suffer your pity. Hmm. And feels bad. I feel like we always end up randomly meeting like this, Eris. What brings you here? I requested to accompany Beatrice to this event. After all, I don't have many opportunities to enter a church like this. How are you able to enter? I mean, because you're you. I can imagine. By the way, is your father still... Oh, if you're worried about him, we've already had a conversation about you. I don't think he'll be accosting you anytime soon. Uh, oh, thank, thank you. That seems too good to be true. How'd you pull something like that off? He may look like a hardened criminal, but he's always had a soft spot for his family. He also owed me, and I have a way of making people see things my way. She's right about that. I think I just accidentally gave her Steelwind's voice. It's chill. Wait, if you're here, does that mean Marnoth is also... Oh, heavens no. There's no way they let me bring him here of all places. I left him at the entrance with the King's Guard. If he tries to escape, that knight over there is ordered to kill me. She points to a knight that's silently watching the sisters from afar. You're surprisingly calm about that. Please, I regularly deal with demons. This is nothing in comparison to that. You really haven't changed. I suppose... She became Scottish for a second. I suppose not. Wait, does that mean you can't see right now? How did you know which statue I was looking at? It was a lucky guess. That grotesque statue certainly makes an impression on you. Humph. Oh, Mawanoth just spoke with me. He wanted me to let you know that he can smell your celestial stink from the entrance. Love you too, Mawanoth. Oh, wow. I probably should repeat his response to that. I believe you. By the way, you seem to know a lot more about these things than I do. What exactly is a Heavensborn? What? Did you seriously not know? But you know how to issue a divine edict. That's a very advanced technique. It sort of came to me in the moment. What? Anyways, I'm quite surprised you don't know about your lineage. Perhaps my mother knew, but I lost her when I was really young. Hmm. I see. You have my condolences. But to answer your question, a Heavensborn is a human whose bloodline has been touched by the gods. Gods? You mean like the Scared Lord? No, I'm speaking of the actual gods. Beatrice, you can't say that here! Oh, come off it. What's the church going to do? Arrest me? I like her energy. It's a shame you're going to hell. Anyways, your blood has been touched by the celestials of the upper planes. Much like my soul has gone to the abyssal hells. Your soul is consecrated and tied to the heavens. Heavens? Is that why you're able to use Eye of Horus with some kind of angelic power? Make no mistake, though. If you find yourself under the wrong circumstances, even you can be sent to hell. Great! The Church of Bahamut is prominent in Wyvern, but this is the first time I've heard of celestial gods. That makes sense. It's probably because of Wyvern bloody history with the Theocracy of Lumina. The Theocracy? Aren't they the nation northeast of us? Yes. The Luminites worship the celestial gods, while our people worship the ancient dragons. A few decades ago, our nation was often a bitter war with the Luminites. Even now, the Crown sees the celestial religions as a possible threat to our draconic culture. The Church has done its best to wipe out any religions that worship the Celestials. I see. But if your bloodline is blessed by the Celestials, does that mean that our kids will also be Heavensborn? That's bold implications. I suppose so. I think my mother was also a... Wait, what did you just say? Your kids. I guess if your kids will be Heavensborn. Oh, I must have misheard you then. Wow. If only you were always this easy to lie to. Anyways, I'm a little curious. Shit, that's such a funny line. From someone who we sent to hell. Anyways, I'm a little curious about the Theocracy of Lumina. If they worship Celestials there, would I find other Heavensborn there? Heavensborn aren't that common there, either. Frankly, I'm surprised that there's even one Heavensborn living in Wyvern. How did your bloodline even find its way here? I suppose I don't really know. My mother never told me much about our ancestry. That makes sense. If the Church of Bahamut knew what you were, they would have definitely hunted you down. Oh, great. Last thing you need is another faction that wants to kill you. Anyways, traveling into and out of Wyvern is technically illegal. And I doubt Lord Steelwind would make an exemption for you. He is an old veteran of the Great Luminite War. Veteran? Vet? Oh no. I hate the vets. I'm not going. You'll never take me alive. Checker, it's nice to see you back again, buddy. God, I hope you're a witness or something. You'll watch as Tracker frantically runs through the garden, barking loudly. Maeve chases him as he runs towards someone. I should probably go help her. It's almost 2 p.m. anyways. We should head to the prayer room. Thank you for answering my questions, Beatrice. Please, let me know if there's anything I can do to help with your situation. Of course. Let's go, Celeste. Right. Try not to look so down. It's almost time for the main event. Why did you bring me here? No, who knows? Whatever you're planning to make me do, please. Please don't make me harm my sisters. You're in no position to make demands. You'll just have to see for yourself. Stay safe, Mr. Cuthbert. Shoot. I don't know why I did that. Oh, I can look at it. The statue. I can only feel it suffering. What? Its face is contorted into an expression of pure agony. It screams out in terror, yet no one can hear its pleas for mercy. Someone ignorant of its plight has placed some sort of vain party hat upon its head. It's as if they are mocking its torment, like some kind of demon torturing a poor soul in the fields of Avernus. What are you even on about? I'm sorry. I need to take a moment to think about what I've just witnessed here. We all should. Alright, Tyrion. You go do that. Well, that was fun. I should have probably expected the other rooms. I guess I can go to the common room real quick. Howdy. A ceramic altar is at the end of this room. The sunlight is shining through the glass window. Great, I'm so glad I did that. Let's nave it up a bit. There are rows upon rows of seats for worshippers to sit at. At full capacity, this room could probably host thousands of people at a time. There's an altar at the end of the room. A religious figure would probably give a sermon here. It's a stained glass window. A small ray of sunlight is shining through it. Alright, let's go do a little bit of praying. Are you ready? Yeah. At least, I hope so. If it becomes too much for you, don't hesitate to leave. I only need a few moments to look into his mind. No, I'm the one who asked you to do this. And I'm not going to leave you alone with him. Alright, if that's what you want. Tyrion? Yes? Thank you for doing this. It really means a lot to me. Of course. This will finally give you the answers that you've been looking for. It's not just that. You've done so much for me since I met you. You got me acquitted, you helped me work through my grief for my dad. It feels like I can never repay that. What are you talking about? For the past few months, all I've been doing is relying on you. I generally don't know what I'd do if you weren't a part of my life. I should tell him. Tell me what? Get out of my head! You're really bad at guarding your mind. You know you can tell me anything, right? Are you? How long have you been standing there? Well, I knew you'd be around here at this time. I wanted to wish you luck. But then you two seem to be in the middle of something. I didn't want to interrupt. Don't stop on my account. I'll just get out of your way. Why are they playing the Smitten song? Yes, I have most of the names for the songs in this game. As she awkwardly skitters away, you see something fall out of her pocket. Oh, Arya, you dropped your runestone. As she picks up the runestone, she accidentally activates it. An image of a piece of evidence appears for a brief moment, but she quickly hides it. But not before Celeste sneaks a peek at it. Oh! Oh, I see. Celeste, don't just invade our privacy like that. Don't be like that. I'm really happy for you. Thank you. Good luck. A part of you really wants to know what she saw, but one of you has to exercise on herself. Fucking tell me! I don't have to. I don't need self-restraint. I need knowledge. Anyways, let's go meet with him. Yeah, let's do this. I can tell him after. You finally arrived. I suppose this means you've finally decided. Wait, you two? We got your letter. Letter? What letter? You sent us a letter, Pierce. It said that you knew who Celeste's parents were. I did send that letter, but not to you two. What? I don't like this. And so the final act begins. I've been waiting for this. What the hell are you doing? Have you gone mad? No! What are you doing? Stop! Lady Steelwind, what are you? Is this also the will of the cosmic balance? Come on, just tell us the truth, Pierce. You are the last person I would give this information to. He's getting more and more stressed. Just a little more and you'll... As you interrogate him, suddenly hear a loud crash outside the room. What was that? I'm gonna take a look and see what's going on. What? You're just gonna leave us here? He's right. We don't know what's going on. We should stay together. Don't worry. There were 2 guards outside. And they're from the King's Guard. You'll be fine. That's not what I'm worried about. But I'll trust your judgment. What? It's been almost 10 minutes since Celeste went to investigate the noise. Pierce seems extremely on edge. He's sitting at one of the tables and impatiently tapping a surface with his finger. So, you never intended to send that letter to me. Who did you send it to then? Oh, as if I would ever tell you that. Luckily for you, he should have accumulated enough stress by now. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Even if I wasn't the intended recipient, you said that you knew who his biological parents are. Who are they? Ugh. Are you seriously focused on that now? It's far too important. It's my only bargaining chip. Answer the question, Pierce. What was that? Somnia. What is this? A blue luminous vapor enters the room. As soon as it makes contact with you, you suddenly feel extremely fatigued. Damn it! It's a sleep spell! That makes sense. It's calculated. No, if they got here, that means... Celeste. Try your hardest to stay conscious, but this spell is too powerful. We're too eepy, no! You feel your body slowly dropping to the ground. No. Beatrice. Okay. What is this all? Okay. Bit of a shorter episode, but you know what? That's such a cool place to end it off. No, I can't do that. I'd feel bad doing anything under 30. Tyrion. Tyrion. What? Celeste? Tyrion. I'm so sorry. I should have listened to you. I should have never left you alone with him. Hey, it's okay. Tears are streaming down her eyes. She was clearly worried about you. You try your best to comfort her as you look around the room. What happened? How long were you knocked out? As you look around, you see several other people with you. Commander White is leading a group of knights. They all have their weapons drawn and pointed at someone. It's Prosecutor Steelwind. Commander, I understand your position, but there has to be another explanation. Look, Your Majesty, I get where you're coming from. But from what the witnesses have told us, it has to be a case of mage blight. Look around the room and see a pool of blood at the end of one of the tables. Celeste, where's Pierce? Tyrion. I don't know how to tell you this, kid, but Garrick Pierce was ratioed. What? We're honestly surprised that you're okay. But who? Look at the knights, who all have their weapons pointed at the prosecutor. Wait a minute. You think Steelwind did this? It wasn't just Lord Pierce, Mr. Cuthbert. We also found the bodies of Lord Von Sanctus and Lady Sybil. Not to mention a bunch of the King's Guard have gone comatose. Comatose? I don't want to believe it, but several people saw Steelwind acting off at the scenes of each of the murders. We also found her unconscious here, and Pierce's body was lying next to her. No, it wasn't her. I saw Beatrice before I passed out. She was the one that knocked us out. Beatrice? What the hell is going on? Commander White, you need to put me in a holding cell. It needs to be one with an anti-magic field. What? I've endangered everyone here. Need to go now. What are you talking about? Now is not the time. Do it, Commander. Right. You watch as the Inquisition arrests Steelwind and escort her out the room. Damn it. What happened? I know you have many questions, Mr. Cuthbert, but we should make sure that you're okay. Yeah, there's a necromancer in the nave. They have a point. You have no idea what happened while you slept. You follow their suggestion, but not before making a note of the current time. It's 3:12 p.m. Okay. Sure. Nothing seems to be out of the ordinary, except... What? What's wrong with him? If you just let me finish. There appears to be a trace of necromancy on you, Mr. Cuthbert. Necromancy? It's probably nothing. Did your assistant cast any spells on you? Oh, right. I used healing magic on him when I found him unconscious. I expected as much, but it never hurts to make sure. Anyways, nothing seems out of the ordinary. You're quite healthy. You should be fine to go about your business, but please speak with me again if you experience anything out of the ordinary. Thank you. I am Lord Lazaric Asclepius of House Asclepius. I know, my name sucks. It's hard to pronounce. It's why I decided to go goth. And there are no thanks needed. My apprentice apparently owes you a lot. Apprentice? Wallace Nightgrave. I believe he was one of your clients a few months ago. Oh, right. Steelwind did mention that she introduced you to. Speaking of Steelwind, I really find it hard to believe that she did this. Mr. Cuthbert, mage blight isn't exactly a benign condition. When it takes hold of a mage, it doesn't matter what kind of person they are. Violent behavior is almost always a result of the delirium it puts them in. It's unfortunate, but mages have to be held responsible when cases like this happen. Unless someone is framing her. Tyrion, I fought her. What? You remember back when we heard that weird sound? I went outside to see what was going on. I saw her outside, and the guards were all unconscious. I tried to ask her what was going on, but she didn't say anything. She just attacked me. What was her emotional state like? Well, she was pretty cold and emotionless. It almost looked like she was sleepwalking. That's actually pretty strange. What do you mean? When someone is affected by mage blight, they enter a state of extreme psychosis. Psychotic episodes like that raise the affected mage's paranoia to ridiculous levels. And that's why these cases almost always end up in violence. If she was affected by mage blight, she shouldn't have looked anywhere near as calm as you're describing. You might be onto something, Mr. Cuthbert. If what you're saying is true, there has to be more to this. Perhaps it was another one of those fucking arcane constructs. Those usually seem to be the culprits. It's either arcane constructs or demons or fucking Pierce. You're planning to defend her, aren't you? At the very least, we need to find out what actually happened. I feel like there's more to this than we're seeing. But you saw her, right? Commander White, you need to put me in a holding cell. It needs to be with an anti-magic field. What? Yeah, bip. She wanted them to arrest her. Right. It's as if she thought she was a danger to others. Regardless of what really happened, she clearly believes that she was responsible for this. There's no way that she'd do something like this. Something else is happening here, and you will get to the bottom of this. And by the way, since she's the suspect, it means it's very vital we figure out what Celeste saw. And what that whole scene was about, so. I'm not sure where each of the murders occurred, but the Inquisition should be able to tell you more about that. I also need to speak with Steelwind. If she really was affected by mage blight, she should be able to remember what may have caused it. But anyways, the prayer room is the room you're most familiar with. You'll probably want to start there. Alright. Yeah, so it's the same stuff. Religious figure. Stained glass window.
Prepario Arcanum!
Prepario Arcanum! Alrighty then. Here. So, alright. There's no way I'm gonna be able to piece it together what happened right now. The obvious thing is that it really was Beatrice and that Eris, did her, yes. But gotta find Beatrice. Gotta talk to her about all that stuff. It's cool that Pierce is dead, though, like, that's hype. It's not a very... Can't get very emotional at the murder of... Also, what was this whole event about? That's my question. Here. I'm just selling for time, honestly. Here. Let's just end the episode now. It'll still end up a bit early, probably nearly exactly 30 minutes, judging by the amount of time I'll have to reduce from the video. But yeah, there's a lot to think about. Let's think about it next episode. Tyrion Cuthbert, Attorney of the Arcane. By the way, this should be part 30. I've done 30 of these things. What the fuck?